Negaman, 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 Damn, 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 damn. Mükemmel. खै त के चल्दैछ अहिले हेरौँ त अहिले नि चल रहा ओके सो योबाट जाउँ यहाँबाट फेरि यमा जाउँ हेलो 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 अहिले अहिले चाहिँ अडियो मेनमा जाउँ आवाज सुरु गरौँ यहाँदेखि सुरु गरौँ ट्याम 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 एकछिन अहिले कालो कालो स्क्रिन आउँछ होइन चल्न त पाड्न यार ल त्यो गेम अडियो आउन लाग्यो नि फेरि यता छ ल एकछिनै यहाँदेखि बढाउनु मिल्छ कि मिल्दैन यहाँदेखि बढाउँ न मैले बढाएर काम छैन त्यसपछि यहाँदेखि बढ्न पर्छ होला मलाई घटाए नि चल्छ त्यसपछि यार आजै गेम ओपन भयो अब आफ्टर लङ टाइम गेम ओपन Right. ल ओपन भयो यसमा जाउँ के हुन्छ हेर्दै क्राफ्ट गर्न मिल्छ क्राफ्ट हान्दिउँ ओके मारले के भन्छ त अरू के छ त लुक फर द मेज निकोल भन्छ त एडभेन्चर गिल ट्रेन गरौँ
Thank you for completing.
ओके अगेन
Add Astra.
dispatch again claim all sub claim dispatch again बरेट म्यापमा जाउँ अब चाहिँ आर्कन क्वेस्ट हान्दिउँ त कहाँ थियौँ हामीहरू यहीँ थिएँ सो टेलिपोर्ट हान्नु यता अब चाहिँ आर्कन क्वेस्ट सुरु हुन्छ होला ओके
Where are they going? They mentioned a mage and...
So, Mr. Varka, are you acquainted with this Nicole? Or should I call her Mage N?
Not really. We've never met, though she has come up in conversation. From what I've gathered, Alice kinda took Nicole under her wing. Taught her how to speak in a more ladylike fashion.
Huh. Hard to imagine Alice as an etiquette coach.
Yeah, Alice is a larger-than-life personality, I'll give you that. But then again, that's why she's able to draw such an eclectic mix of people into her inner circle. If I remember correctly, being an interesting person is actually one of her main entry requirements. So, if you ever wanted to join the Hexen Circle, I'm sure you'd both be eligible to apply.
Hey! Don't go around making promises on Alice's behalf.
I wouldn't dare. I'm just trying to paint a picture of the Hexen Circle for you.
Crab.
Okay, sure. Wait a minute. Alice never said Nicole was from Mondstadt.
Oh, true.
Alright, girl, that each mage has their own cup.
That would be this young lady, then?
Yep. She's here. The Nicole.
Hey there! Sorry to disturb you, but...
Varka, Knight of Boreas of the Knights of Favonius.
If we got the wrong person... well, listen...
When I shook my head, I meant, no, Alice hasn't mentioned you before.
Huh? Where is the...
My apologies. For certain reasons, I am unable to speak. This is the only way I can communicate. It might take some getting used to, but I hope you...
Hey, it's fine. I'm more shocked by the fact that Alice never speaks about me. I mean...
What the heck? Curious, man.
As for you two, we have crossed paths twice before, but it is nonetheless a pleasure to finally meet you.
It's really you! Thanks for all your guidance in the past!
You're quite welcome. This time, things are different. We have reached the unwritten pages of the story. Now then, allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is... No, stop! Alice! I can't believe it!
Fourth wall break.
I had a whole speech prepared. I'd agonized over every single word. She always picks the worst moments to ruin other people's plans. I'm so sorry about that. Alice took the liberty of devising some bespoke self-introduction magic for each member of the Hexen, but I could have sworn I deleted all of the triggering conditions for it.
This is a very different side of Nicole than what we're used to. Don't worry about it. We've seen that introduction magic once already, so it would...
Please go on, Miss Nicole. We'd love to hear what you have to say, or...
Huh? Are they talking?
Will you all promise to forget that horrendous...
Sorry? Embarrassing? When?
Yes, my name is Nicole, and I am one of a very few angels who have retained both their preferred form and their power. The Traveler and Paimon should be no strangers to this concept. There is another of our kind in Natlan. They call her the Lord of the Night.
Alright! Paimon remembers
But
her!
I've never seen her function.
Yes. Well, I have retained more of my power than she. It's because I don't have a long-term duty to fulfill. To be more specific, no. We'll be here all day if I get into the specifics. Moving on. If I'm not mistaken, you are here because you wish to learn how one might reach the moon beyond...
That's right. Is that something you can give us any guidance on?
Yes, I do know a way. It began with the Hyperboreans, who lived after the War of Funerary Flame. Blank or maybe not. It shouldn't be an issue. I'll fill in the gaps for you when we have more time. Anyway, the Hyperboreans were humans I once aided. They accepted the civilization and creations bestowed upon them by the angels.
देखेँ जस्तो लाग्यो यसलाई त साँच्चै यो कहाँ त कुन कुसमा चाहिँ देखेँ त यसलाई यो नि सिमिलर फेस छ I don't know about the other.
But despite accepting many blessings of the angels, Many among them still held on to their faith in the moons. They were reluctant to accept the new order. Even after the War of Funerary Flame, they sought to contact them.
But all three had passed away by that point.
This mage has a unique method of communicating. Is she talking about the moons?
Yes, but they did not know. And so, still they prayed for the moon goddess's mercy. After building titanic structures that consumed vast amounts of Kuvaki, at last they glimpsed the moons and heard their voices. But of course, they were gravely disappointed. For it was then that they realized the three moon goddesses were dead.
Oh, that's such a...
It is. Humanity was in a very sorry state at that time. The angels who had once aided them were gone, and the war of...
Just a second, I gotta ask. How relevant is all this history to the task at hand?
Well, I mean, it's... Okay, it seems we've drifted into a It's been a while since I've had the chance to speak inside someone's head. As soon as I got started, I lost control and the words just flowed. What I'm trying to say is... Right, yes, that's it. The fact that they bypassed the false sky and saw the true moons implies that they successfully built a connection between Tevat, which means, with enough Kuvaki and a sufficiently stable connection, it should be feasible to send one person over the board.
Okay, so they built some kind of portal?
Oh,
Is something wrong?
I just didn't expect you to summarize it so well. It turns out I could have said all that in one word. If a...
No, please, it's fine. This is invaluable.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, I suppose I could backtrack and add some more detail. I did gloss over a few things so far.
Whoa, time out. Let's summarize what we've got first. The Hyperboreans were the last ones to use this method, right? So we somehow need to find whatever structure they built and make sure there's enough Kuvaki to power it up. Luckily, we have the moon marrow of both the eternal and iridescent moons, so we're all good for Kuvaki. Which means the key issue we need to focus on is finding the place.
Yes. Although I expect the structure is long gone by now. That said, well, travel back isn't quite accurate. We wouldn't even have to pick a time when it still existed. It could just be a time when it still appeared in phantom form via projection, or we could project our own... You look lost. Was that too hard to follow?
Yeah, things got a little, technical there. Paimon's brain is reaching capacity.
하나는 잘한. 저래요, 나이스. 이띠기라나 되네. Okay, nice lah.
Alright. Let me think about how to put this more simply. Okay, got it. Over the next few days, I'll search for phantoms that we can use. Once I find one that meets the criteria, I'll let you know. By completing certain rituals, specific individuals will be able to enter the phantom and make it to the Hyperborean structure. If everything checks out, and it looks feasible, we'll just need to wait for Moon Prayer Night, and we can send the moon goddess back home.
I think so. For now.
Yes?
Great. Counting on you.
My name?
Oh, wait.
Are they...
Great. Counting on you. It's in the meantime, I'll focus on finding the moon goddess name, Rena. Are they looking for a way to stop?
Excuse me, Miss...
Go on, Miss Nicole.
This conversation was a little all over the place. I didn't catch your name.
I am Lauma.
Ah, I did wonder. I noticed that you listened very intently when I spoke about hyper... If you'd be interested, I'd love to visit you this evening and go through it again. Also, if you were serious about making a record, it would be too risky to simply write down the raw details as is. I would suggest some tweaks. Maybe rewrite the stories as fairy tales or fables, perhaps even prayers.
Alright.
Anyway, we can cross that bridge when we come to it.
See ya!
She seems friendly. It's just...
It's so nice to find someone who's actually willing to listen. I've been dying for a chance to finally go through all this systematically from start to finish.
Now Paimon gets why Alice told us to mind our heads.
What did I tell you? A lot of quirky people in Alice's orbit. Now then, the next order of business is...
Maybe the rest of what Nicole has to say.
Once I've heard her out, I'll summarize this. I'm also inclined to review our other documents, but many of the more factually accurate...
Sounds like we're gonna fall. In that case, we'll start by heading to the...
Sounds like a plan. Take this with you. I'll see about getting in touch with the Fatui. It'll probably just be Arlecchino and Sandroni again. They're the only one...
Thank you, Mr. Vark.
I should follow them, just in case there's some way.
Hindi jangan pone, emangnya dami. Tara.
A while ago, I took the time to organize all documents in our possession that pertain to...
You're saying there's unreliable material
Yes. Most of... There's no sense seeking answers in history unless we can ensure the veracity of the historical record.
Makes sense. All right, let's take a look through. Almost all these records refer to Kutar instead of Columbina. Although...
What we can gather from these records is that the Frost Moon Scions worshipped her as a god, placing impossible... I cannot fault them for their earnest. I imagine that none of it resonated with Colin. It wouldn't surprise me if, even back then, she had already begun to reject the name Kutar and everything.
Lama speaks the truth. When I heard them call upon Kutar with hope and expectation in their voices, they may as well have been calling upon somebody else.
Well, that's a bit complicated. I looked at and how realistic their portrayal of amongst the Frost Moon Scions of today. Only I know of her existence, and I alone have spoken to her face to face. That being said, I have sensed some changes in her
Changes?
Seems like this is getting us nowhere.
Sure.
Exerting but a fraction of her divine might, Kutar... Yeah, right. That doesn't even begin to pass a sniff. The 3 moons are not but lies through and through. Only one moon has ever shone for us, and Kutar is her name.
The vast majority of ancient texts are filled with fanciful tales like these. I trust you understand my Kutar did not speak, merely gazing into the distance in silence. And where her gaze landed, this was her. Clearly, whoever wrote this text never even met Kutar. Otherwise, they'd know that her eyes are always closed.
What about you, Traveler? What are you reading? Come on, let Paimon... The child wished to build a wooden nest with which to shield a fledgling bird from the cold. Kutar was passing by. Upon seeing the child, she summoned forth a Kuhenki, who built a beautiful... Not knowing the meaning of Kutar's divine intervention, the child dared not to respond, and thus ran home to call their parents. The moon chanter declared the event a miracle and took the nest as a relic, placing it on high for all to see. Yet, no further miracles were... Any thoughts after reading that? Yeah, Columbina probably just wanted to join the kid in making nests.
Ah. I'd originally considered this a fabrication, but now that I think about it, it does seem like some...
She didn't know how other people...
Yes.
Oh.
And now, I can make no such gestures of warmth.
Still no bit of a shame. But we did learn some interesting stories. That's gotta count for something. Barca said he was gonna set up a meeting with Arlecchino and Sandrone, right? Let's go back to Nasha Town and see how he's doing.
Nasha Town. Batmazın bir şey için. Nasha Town dediler. SP got है मेरा? Yes, SP got है.
Let's see.
Varga, June, Albedo too.
And it's Durin and Albedo too. Yeah, this is pretty much the same place we bumped into each other last.
Ah, so you've been waiting for us?
Sure does.
Well, we didn't find out Columbina's true name.
Aha, just as well that I didn't.
So, Varka was waiting on us, but what about you two?
Oh, no. We already met with her.
We discussed that experiment I mentioned to you last time. Oh, and she also handed me this communication device.
That's right. I understand she informed you about the relationship between the phantom phenomena and... She said that she'll contact me through this device with more information.
Ah, I see. Following instructions and making observations. Pretty common research method.
Wait, then
Someone you know. Albedo's met him too. But I don't think Miss Lauma or the Grand Master...
Introductions are overrated, especially in cases like
More
this.
raha the clown meme is
it's
cool.
you.
So, it's not like the academia has prohibitions against going abroad. Also, I applied for leave.
I've been writing to Hat Guy since obtaining a human form. I've already brought him up to speed on everything that's been going...
Hat guy. Turns out, I actually have heard that name before.
Oh? Then why did you react the same way I did?
I only knew the name, not the fella. But since we're all here, let's do some introductions for what it's worth.
Lauma, Moon Chanter of...
And I'm a Drioche from the Vahumana Darshan of the Sumeru
What?
Academia. Hat guy.
Trios? Cute, man.
Good to see you again, Mr. Guy. I believe we last saw each other on the boat ride here. Mind you,
Who's that?
the Doctor, also known as Dottore, second of the Fatui Harbingers.
From the tone of your voice, it's...
I was reviewing our archives and noticed that a lot of information about him was missing. Left a bad taste in my mouth. Dottore, or Zondique, as he was then known, once studied at the Academia, but he got kicked out before he could graduate.
So the Harbinger's #2 man is a college dropout?
Last we heard, he was planning something. We actually heard that a few times before, even coming to Nop.
He only appears when something interests him. For all we know, he might have left, but the fact he did something here at all is worth noting. It'll fill a couple extra...
Why does it sound less like a file you're writing and more like a... Anyway, we were just about to meet 2 of the other Harbingers.
Sure.
Even though they're harbingers, well, they're old acquaintances of ours, so, you know, when you talk to them, try to be...
The Frost Moon Scion's relations with the Fatui remain tense.
Okay.
In that case, we'll continue assist...
Good stuff. Everyone's having a fruitful time. All right, we better get going. I'll lead the way.
Invite. Clown.
Well, yeah, that's obviously part of it. But I'm not the only one who has a score to settle with him. Neither you, nor Lesser Lord Kusanali, nor I want to see him meddling with things again.
Wait, the thing?
What's the... Don't worry. Pigeons always know which way home is.
Okay. Design Bureau. Shantone M30.
You made it.
Who's that?
Who is this?
A scholar from Sumeru. They call him Hat Guy.
Wait, this is the academia representative you wrote about? He doesn't exactly look the part.
Columbine.
I believe this will prove my identity. You'll notice it bears the seal of the sanctuary.
Well, what do you know? So it does.
It's fine. I expected as much.
What?
So as I mentioned in my letter, but this matter remains top secret. Apart from those assisting in the investigation, the fewer people who know, the better.
If anyone asks, I'm here in Notcry to pursue my personal academic interests.
Gotta say, Varka, you did pretty well to keep all this under wraps for so long.
you flatter me.
You all haven't you?
Where do I even start? Remember that time we fought Rerir at Star Sand Shoal? He sure let me have it then, didn't he? I'll bet Dottore had that all sketched out, with me as his convenient little... He could not care less about us if he tried, but hey! The feeling's mute.
Does Dottore really strike you as the sort who values his relationships with his colleagues?
Fair point.
Which is why I always keep my guard up whenever he starts making suspicious moves. To that extent, our motivations align. On top of which, I consider you trustworthy people. Now, back on topic. In the wake of the Reikir of Solnari episode, Sandrone and I grew suspicious about Dottore's complete inaction during the entire affair. So we tried to find out what he'd been up to.
He never lets anyone in on his plans. The more he cares about something...
Indeed. Perhaps he believes that by keeping a low profile, he can avoid trouble. But that...
Yeah, I mean, he's been researching the ancient moon's remnants. And he's been trying to get his paws on the moon marrows. Only an idiot would believe...
With this in mind, I returned to Snezhnaya and relayed my thoughts to Her Majesty the Tsaritsa, entreating her to have him recalled.
That's pretty direct. Did the Tsaritsa...
Yes. I made it abundantly clear that the Fatui's business in Nodcry is almost concluded, and we do not need 3 harbingers in this territory. Accordingly, Dottore has returned at her orders. I imagine he is continuing with experiments.
Common sense might mean nothing to him, but he's not stupid. He knows that no good can come from opposing the Sor. Smarts alone won't get him all the way. He needs the Rooster's resources and Regrator's Mora, both of which the Tsaritsa can strip from him by waggling a...
But doesn't he have a track record of publicly following orders while going against them in private? He probably...
Wouldn't put it past him. We worked together on a research project once. Only briefly. But it was enough to show me that we're fundamentally different people. He has no interest in doing things methodically, stage by stage. The only similarity we share is that, once we set our minds on doing something, we will see it done.
Oh, we definitely saw some of that in your battle with Rerir.
Ugh, do not remind me.
Then I believe we all concur. Dottore will not...
Fantastic. Now this is turning into a whole day of... Are you talking about the moon marrow stuff?
He also strikes me as the kind of person to disregard experimental regulations, ruin all the equipment, and go way over budget. Then leave the first person he can find to deal with the...
Exactly! This one time, he was running some high-temperature experiment and the substance exploded. But does he care? That gas was poisonous! If I hadn't been there, who knows how many people might... And after all that, he left! While I was still cleaning up after his mess. What a waste of time! The nerve!
You've been
Hat Guy, I must say, you seem awfully familiar with internal Fatui affairs.
Thank you, Lady Harbingers, for providing such valuable information. I have no other questions.
Wait, what?
You're welcome to join if you want.
Ugh. Just when Paimon thought he'd finally
He makes quite the impression.
I'll say. I've met tons of headstrong people, but not many of them would join me in bad-mouthing Dottore. Anyway, back to the main agenda. Varka, you said that Columbina has gone missing? Or rather, disappeared.
Yeah. We're working on building a connection between her and this world. The simplest method is to find out her real...
I've actually asked her that question before, but she said she didn't know. Considering our relationship,
As far as I recall, she was never dispatched by Her Majesty to claim a gnosis or anything like that. The Tsaritsa's plans had long contained a place specifically for her.
I always thought that was weird. What could she do that the rest of us couldn't?
Knowing what we do now, it's probably something related to
More than likely. When she first arrived, Columbina would often go to Her Majesty and ask when she could start the task assigned to her. But Her Majesty always gave the same reply. The time has not yet come. So the Tsaritsa has summoned a beautiful blind maiden to be a harbinger, giving her the third seat by virtue only of her enchanting voice. It was a dumb and stupid rumor. But the reality of this...
And what happened after that?
I imagine she stopped caring. She no longer seemed to care why she had been recruited. And Her Majesty never gave her any missions. So she just... continued to sing in the flower garden. For my part, I was busy. So busy, in fact, that watching someone be that idol had me fuming. That she had long been used to a life of other people claiming she was needed. When
I just felt really well all this
What is it? Something come...
That makes sense. Nothing screams you are needed like your name shouted from across the town.
Well, good luck with it. But if you ask me, Columbina is still the most shoutable name. I'm just so used to it now. After all the arguments we've had, I can't be bothered trying to remember another...
Nor I.
Sandrone.
Huh! It's a Sealy! Does that mean Nicole has news for us?
Ladies, I thank you for your hospitality. If the chance ever comes up, I definitely owe you both...
I'm sure it will.
You can make your own way out. Heck, you've been here enough times, you probably know your way around better than I do.
Okay! Time to do what adventurers do best!
Spoiler that. Children.
Here you are.
Oh, that guy. Hang out in despair, with no hope.
Every time I see it, I can't help but think, is this what it was like in Mondstadt when Dragonspine Durin attacked? And if I fail in the task I've been given, will I create yet another tragedy?
That's just meaningless speculation.
When we encountered similar phenomena previously, I tried to interfere with those illusions, using sounds and lights to guide them. However, we could not change their fates. At most, we were able to extend their...
The events of the past are like fate that has been written into Irminsul. There isn't a...
But Miss Alice instructed us to try to find ways to change...
It's an impossible task.
Since she asked us to do this, I feel like it can't truly be impossible. Or if it is, well, I could not have been born as Durin otherwise.
But you also said that your past 39 attempts were fruitless.
That's true.
But you're still going.
Yes.
After this many futile attempts, surely you realize that you're not doing this because you still believe what some made. It's because you want her hypothesis to come true. So, think for yourself about what...
Yeah.
Previous experience indicates that we cannot touch the phantoms, which limits the effectiveness of our intervention. If we want to clear this hurdle, we need...
Same thought here. Following the same rules means repeating the same failures.
So you mean we need to figure out...
Yes, and I suspect that everything in Tevat is logged in Irminsul. But the withering that once occurred in Sumeru was a sign that the Great World Tree was being...
This corruption allowed things that should not have existed in Tevat to appear.
You're saying abyssal power might be able to affect those phantoms?
No one's ever tried it before.
Hey, beli ko
She's
to
missing. I hear someone inside.
If I can use my abyssal powers to warn him that there is danger here, maybe it'll change his...
Yes. The important thing is not the name.
To intimidate and obstruct.
Let me try.
Okay, now I can play him.
Have you seen a little girl?
What? This isn't the time for that! Just run!
I hear someone inside.